This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform where you can create your own website. Okay, today's the day. We are finally doing it. Currently, behind me, you can see that we got one window here, one window over there, and today we're gonna put another window right in the middle of them. Now the thing is, this building is protected, at least the outside facade here. So we've got to be really careful. Oh, and by the way, if you're new here, welcome. We're currently in the process of renovating this entire apartment. So far, we've done a lot of demolition and we're slowly and steadily starting to build back up. Right, now the first order of business is just create a hole in the wall here so we can expose the brick facade that's on the other side here. I marked up the size of the window, I've drilled some holes in each corner. Let's get cutting. Basically a window.
Alright, just the rest left.
And the job now is just gonna consist of taking all these bricks out of that hole that used to be a window. Because it's not like we're just randomly whacking a big hole in a protected facade. You can see there is actually a window frame in the building here. Just a really long time ago, when they converted this building, which used to have 3 apartments per floor, into 2 apartments, they needed to build a wall right in the middle here. You can see those black lines. They just bricked up the whole window and called it a day. And yes, don't worry, together with an architect, we've sent an application to the city to reinstall a window. All that is approved, we're good to go. So, I mean, let's just get going. And just to make sure that we're doing it right, or at least the same way that the other windows are installed, builders ripped apart this whole old window frame situation, which we're gonna replace anyways. So now we can see how everything is put together, and we just copy that on the other side, basically. Okay, but before we start, we can't just go about whacking out those bricks and hoping it doesn't hit anyone on the other side. So, this one is for you, and this one, and you're responsible for me not killing anyone. Cool?
Okay.
All right, you ready? No? So I think Vilda's a little bit worried that something might happen. I don't think anything's gonna happen. Look, we blocked off this huge area, and that window up there, or the lack of window up there, is what we're gonna install a window into.
Hope we don't kill anyone today. Or break something.
We're not gonna break anything.
I really hope so.
You ready? There she is! Alright, we're basically ready at this point. We've closed off the street downstairs, wheeled this down there to make sure that no one walks under in case something falls out. Talking about falling out, I was told by my mom I need to not fall out the window. So, dug out my old climbing harness. If I remember how this works. Through these, or under, around, something like that. And with that, I've attached 2 massive bolts into the actual wood beams below the floor. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm properly attached with a rope. Mom's gonna be happy. I've got Vilda on the phone. And the plan is to just sort of slowly and steadily try and chisel out the top ones and just hope for the best that the whole thing just doesn't fall out onto the street. All right. Maybe that's the winner. All right, we got our first one. A little hole. Not really sure, but I think that's the other side of the surface on the front. A bit more to go. Instantly. I'm gonna bring it to the side. This is starting to look like something. Right, I am wondering if we should try to see if we can break through this thing. Okay, let's see if this works. Let's see how thick this stuff is. Woo! Not very thick! Not very thick at all! Cool! Maybe like this. Wow, this stuff is hard. at the hole! I gotta say, this is kind of crazy. Well, this sure feels kind of weird. Maybe just keep it like as a half window. We can serve ice cream or something. Oh, I mean, still a bit scary, but at least now I think we know that this is gonna work and the whole thing is not gonna fall in our head. Well, we're almost there. All the bricks are gone. I've started to chisel out the opening for the window frame itself. We've basically got enough space, and the only thing I've got left to do is take my angle grinder and sort of clean up all the edges, make everything level and straight. And then I guess we can tackle the massive pile of rubbish. We're basically done with the window opening. I just want to create a nice and flat base surface here. So mix up some goop and we'll make a nice and straight surface on the bottom here. Vilde got the fun job of dealing with all the bricks. What do you think about the hole that we made?
It's very square.
It's square.
Yes, that's good.
Is that a good thing?
That is very
Okay.
As long as the window fits,
I think it will.
I'm very happy.
Okay.
And nobody died.
Yeah.
I'm very, yes.
All right, we will cross our fingers. Sorry. Sorry. But first, a quick ad for today's sponsor, Squarespace. So when I'm not renovating old apartments like this one, I usually make and design things such as 3D printed boxes or pieces of furniture. And I sell the 3D files and build plans for those on my website, a website which I created using Squarespace. Now, Squarespace enabled me to super quickly and easily create my own website. It's really easy to set up, you don't need to have any technical knowledge. Just choose from any of the award-winning templates and get started creating your own website right away. And now, whether you want to sell physical or digital products, Squarespace has the merchandising features to make your products look their best online, including e-commerce templates, inventory management, a simple checkout process, and secure payments. You can now even create pro-level videos effortlessly. The Squarespace Video Studio app helps you make and share engaging videos to tell your story, grow your audience, and drive sales. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/ALCH for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. All this has sure been taking a bit longer than expected. I've just come back from the second trip to the store because I first forgot the screws, and then second, forgot these things that attach in the sides here. Now, what are the things that attach to the side here? They're basically just big bolts with a hole through them that I've screwed into a hole, which I've drilled all the way through. And now with a tool like this, when I screw here, that thing extends out, which should make it pretty easy to get everything nice and level with trying to not lose this whole window frame out the window opening. So, yep, that's the general idea. Hope this hole is big enough. I'll just fiddle about with this bit, trying to get everything aligned. Then we can make our marks for where to drill for the plugs. Okay, now we can carefully screw this, and you should be able to see. There we go. We just repeat that for all 6 screws. Drill the holes for the plugs. Ah, no, for the last time. hopefully. All right, now we just do the same thing again, but this time, hopefully for good. Okay, and that is the window installed. I guess to prove that, I should take off this thing, huh? It's not going anywhere. Obviously, still a ton of really big gaps all the way around. So for that, I've got a bunch of tubes of that goop that's meant for that stuff. Okay, foam sausage, just like on the ceiling, shoving it in under there. Now, goop. I'd be happy if you don't look too close at it, but at least it's done. Everything is sealed off. In theory, that should not be watertight. But naturally, there's one thing missing before that thing can be considered anything close to watertight. And that's some windows. Right, we'll start with the small ones. These are just extremely heavy. I almost think that one of these weighs more than the whole frame. And because they're sound insulated, I have no idea how many panes of glass. There's like 3, 4, I don't know. And they're hung from the outside. Luckily, I got this thing, a little vacuum suction thingy, thanks to it. And if we can trust this, it's supposed to be able to hold 170 kilos. I think it's all right. I've tied a rope to it. Oh, that's one. Oh, that's two. Whoever guessed it, the big ones are a lot heavier. Woo! Wanna go? Yes! I cannot believe that we actually did this. Oh! Unfortunately, we're far from done. Just look at that absolute carnage just in the whole living room. But that's enough for today. Right then. It's now a couple of days later. We spent a good bit of time cleaning up the massive amount of mess that we made. If you're curious, the whole window was about 200 bricks. And now that everything is clean, we went right back to work and made a massive mess of, the entire place again. And next up is making all of this look nice. I'm really happy the way everything turned out. We've foamed around all the edges to make everything tight. All that is dry, and we've also made this bottom plate. I just whipped this out of some spare plywood that I had to router an edge out of to make it fit into the windowsill. This is later gonna get covered, so it doesn't matter what it looks like now. But to install it, I had to dig out a bunch of the loose dirt and gravel that had fallen in between the cracks and was causing the entire wall to bulge out. All that is done, everything is covered with both insulation foam and insulation material. Nice and sturdy. Next up is the sides and the top. And for that, we're gonna do it the same exact way as we did on the other windows. A piece of this sheet metal L profile that was supplied to us by Nurips. Thanks guys, this thing is awesome. We'll put this all the way around the window so that we then get a solid and straight edge to screw the drywall onto. I've been making even more of a mess. I'm sure you can start to see a pattern here. What I've made out of that mess is a couple of pieces that are gonna become our sides, into which I would write a groove, hence the dust and mess. Now these pieces will fit into the grooves on the side of the windows. Ha! And go something like that. And not that it's super easy to see, but just like for the other windows that we've done earlier, the sides on these have a 5-degree tilt outwards just to let it a bit more light and to visually just make the windows look a bit bigger. So installing them, I want to insulate from sound and temperature as good as I can on the sides here. For that, I'm going to use some all-around spray foam. This one is provided by Bostik. Thanks guys. Now they also told me a great tip, which is in order to get the foam to both stick to the surface much better, but also expand better and have better properties, just regular water, wet the surface a little bit. Who knew? Then, after chopping off the sides so everything is nice and smooth, the last bit is the top, which has these angled sides. I'm gonna make sure it fits first. Then with the combination of the spray foam and some regular insulation material. Okay. Up. We got ourselves the window! Oh man, not gonna lie, that was a fair bit of work, but I'm really happy with how all of this turned out. Realistically, the whole process took about 3 days. The first day for knocking the big hole, inserting the window, and foaming around the outside, and then another 2 to clean up, make more of a mess, do the drywall, and then the last day, the rest of the drywall, all of these surfaces and top and bottom and everything. But we are left with a window where there didn't used to be one, and it all works. It's super sturdily attached. They open and close. And I just love it. Now it is a really overcast and kind of gloomy day outside, but regardless, just look at the amount of extra light we've got in here and how good it looks with all 4 windows, just like what it looked like when they originally built this place. I've got a whole bunch to clean up, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.